there is a question, and they ask, um, what is the greatest heel turn of all time? Some people say it will be Cena. Just recently turned heel like a few months ago. And here's another one. Hulk Hogan joined the NWO, and there's the Shield, and there's some other stuff. But I can't really pick my number one. I couldn't really pick my number one favorite. But after thinking about it and putting it in my top 10, I decided to do this video. So that's what we're going to be talking about. My top 10 favorite heel turns of all time. So without further ado, let's just get started. Starting off at number 10, and this one is real controversial with number 9 because this rivalry should be at number 9. And the only reason why I have this at number 10 and the other one at number 9 is because of my experience. So with number 10, that will be Bret Hart and Owen Hart, and that is when Owen Hart turned on Bret Hart. So obviously, here's why it should be at number 9. Because of the trilogies, brother versus brother. This was also storytelling, and what else? Yeah, that's really it. So yeah, there's really not much to say, but however, to me, this is one of the best family rivalries of all time. Or I should say, no. There's another one, which is actually in the list, in my top 10 favorite list. But anyway, there's really not much to say about this heel turn. This was all about jealousy. Owen Hart was really jealous of Bret Hart, and they later got back together. Probably like when the Attitude Era was starting to get in the groove, and yeah, that's really it. At number 9, so like I said, number 9 is more of a experience for me because I experienced this and this heel turn, and to this day is like probably one of the most memorable things in this storyline, and which is Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso. So what is the good thing and the bad thing about this rivalry? So this rivalry had to do with I shouldn't really say jealousy, but like I should say hatred, or I don't know how to explain this rivalry. So that's like, so yeah. Okay, so here's why it's at number 9. Cause this is brother versus brother again. Jimmy turning on Jay, and so this is really, it's not really just brother versus brother. This is twins. They are twins. Twins are inseparable, and now they're splitting up. The storyline with Jay and Roman, that's what contributed to be number 9. And there's a lot. I can really say a lot, but another reason why it should be at number 10 is because of less trilogies. The build up was back to WrestleMania, and what else? Yeah, I shouldn't really say it wasn't really good, but however, I experienced this, so that's why it's at number 9. At number 8 is an example of this heel turn was really needed. And do you know what that heel turn was? It was this one. Shawn Michaels kicking Marty Jannetty, which is to make him turning heel. So if you're okay, look at this whole setup. The first thing you're gonna know, when you see this barbershop, you're not just gonna think about the Brutus the Barber beefcake, right? That's his name, right? Because I'm young, I'm 15. But anyway, obviously you're gonna think about you're obviously gonna think about him. But I think the first thing you're gonna think about is Shawn Michaels and turning heel on Marty Jannetty. That's cinema. We're talking about cinema about that. And for y'all 40-year-olds and late 30s or early 30s, or if you're like into wrestling like me, you're gonna put this in the top 10. At number 7, now we're talking about the build up to this story. This is another thing. Tag teams splitting up. This is also about jealousy a little bit, or like suspicious. Now this is Randy Savage turning on Hulk Hogan. Now, the story was about Miss Elizabeth getting in a triangle of Macho Man and Hulk Hogan. So Hulk Hogan was kind of getting too comfortable around Miss Elizabeth, and Macho Man was trying to be protective. But however, Macho Man was being overprotective, and I don't blame him for that. But turning on your friend was really nuts. Because like I do know a little bit of the story and how it kind of started to be the heel turn of Randy Savage, but there's really less to say about this rivalry. I can really say about this rivalry and how I know about this rivalry. So obviously at WrestleMania 5, that's where they had the match where Miss Elizabeth can check on both Hulk Hogan and Macho Man, and then she was moved away from ringside, and then that's when Hulk Hogan won. But this is like kind of like Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. If that ever happened, like this whole tag team, this will be iconic. It will be it will be the same because it's the big superstar, the face of the company, Hulk Hogan, and Cody Rhodes being the Macho Man. That's basically it. Number 6 is a heel turn which you really couldn't. I feel like you couldn't really consider it a heel turn, but it was a moment. To me, it's a heel turn because of how the cards were dealt. And we're talking about the Montreal Screwjob with Vince McMahon turning heel. Now, here it is. I can barely tell you what happened in this storyline because I'm 15, I'm young, but I still know a little bit about my history with wrestling. But anyway, Bret Hart was about to exit WWE, and I think he wanted to win at Montreal. Now he was in a submission and he didn't tap out, and the bell rung. Rain, yeah. I'm trying to think about my vocabulary, like how to say rain. But anyway, that happened, and Vince McMahon basically was the heel of that. Was like the mastermind behind all that. And that's when Bret Hart spat on him. And that is that. Now we're talking, once again, we're talking about moment. That's the moment. But the heel turn is less talked about. And to me, that's like one of the best. Like that's like, Vince McMahon's like best. Like that's like Vince McMahon, like, being the heel. So that's really a heel turn. So to me, I consider it a heel turn. Okay. Before we get to 5 through 1, I want to show y'all this game I got, which is Pokemon Z through A. So this is not a paid advertisement, but the main objective of this is, do you guys want me to play this on my channel? Now, it will be kind of hard for me to play this on the channel because I have a few things to talk about. Probably in my next video tomorrow or something. But anyway, I don't have a power cord for it. I do have the HDMI, but I can't do the power cord because of a few reasons. But anyway, well, it's a specific power cord I gotta get. But anyway, I really got to do that, and yeah, so I could really play it on the Switch, and I need to figure out how to record. So it might take a while, but yeah, there's some stuff I do want to talk about my channel, but yeah. So without further ado, let's get to 5 through 1. Number 5. So number 5 is a heel turn that I experienced on TV. Now, what are we going to be talking about is so obviously I don't like him. because of what he did for that heel turn. And to this day, I still don't like him. And what else? But this was also a great example of like this heel turn was really needed, and it's still, this story is still talked about, like it's still being told to this day. And here it is: Dominic Mysterio turning on Edge and Rey Mysterio. Well, mostly turn on Rey, but still, what is up with this storyline? So Dominic Mysterio was kind of getting kind of being invited to the Judgment Day, even though Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio was saying no. And then they had a few matches, and then that's when Edge came in as the former leader, well, the ex leader of the Judgment Day. And what else? Oh yeah, Rey Mysterio and Edge were had a match at Clash at the Castle against Finn Balor and Damian Priest. And what else happened? They won, and then Dominic Mysterio turned on Edge first, and then he turned on Rey with a clothesline, and then now we have the Dominic that we know today. So yeah, that's really it. But anyway, this rivalry tells us about the father and son relationship, because the Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon rivalry was good. But however, we're talking about wrestlers. We're talking about wrestlers right there. Okay, at number 4, man, I experienced this while I was in the car going back to Texas from Indiana, because where I was out of town. But anyway, this heel turn was just left me speechless because of how the cards were dealt, and that is the New Day heel turn. Okay, so what was so surprising about this heel turn? So obviously Kofi and Xavier were having heat with each other, and what else? Yeah, these two were going at it, and then they had their 10-year anniversary, and then Big E came in, and you know what else happened? Yeah, when Big E came in, he said, "I'm gonna be right here with your as your manager." Now, the whole thing was like a 2-on-1 situation, which is like one of my favorite parts about this story, about this heel turn. And the New Day is one of my favorite tag teams of all time. But anyway, this heel turn, they rejected him, and then now they're a heel tag team. Now this is where I get to the part where I don't like about this rivalry. So one of the things I just don't like about this rivalry is that they really didn't push hard enough for this storyline, because I feel like if Big E was in this storyline, or if he was able to wrestle, or if he wasn't able to wrestle or do something in that storyline, I feel like the storyline would have been a lot better. But anyway, I don't know what we're gonna do. I think this storyline is forever done. I don't think there's nothing that they can do for this storyline, which is really sad. Okay, at number 3, this is another example of this heel turn was really needed. Okay, now we're talking about one of the most in your head heel turns of all time. The Seth Rollins, I almost said Shield. Seth Rollins turning on the Shield. So Seth Rollins turned on the Shield for the Authority, and now we have the Seth Rollins today. We have Dean Ambrose being violent, and we have the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, and yeah. So Seth Rollins, what can I say about Seth Rollins? I guess I can say that like it was out of nowhere when he whacked him with a chair in the back, bro. I can just say something. That moment is incredible. This happened in Indianapolis, which is in my home state. And anyway, um, now they're telling the story with Seth and Roman. I don't know if they're gonna keep telling it because of you know the after what happened with the Vision, but right now I feel like this story is still untold to this day, and we're gonna keep going on, and we'll go from there. Number two is one of the most iconic heel turns of all time, and it's one of the most important heel turns of all time in WWE. And here it is. It's Hulk Hogan joining the NWO and forming the NWO with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. I don't know what I was about to say, but anyway, we're talking about the biggest, or how should I say it? One of the most iconic people and one of the most iconic wrestlers of all time turning heel. Now, I can just say a lot about this. So, once again, I'm 15, and I know a little bit about this rivalry. So, once again, it was unexpected. It was the third man, and now they're having the NWO, and that's why it's one of the most important heel turns in WWE history. Oh, it's already 7. So, SmackDown is today. But I can't really say a lot about this rivalry, but I'm not going to say a lot. Because it's for y'all wrestling fans, y'all already know you already know why this is one of the best heel turns of all time. It's it's probably in your top 5 at least, or top 10. Let me text and talk with y'all for at the same time. But at number 1, which is one of my favorite heel turns of all time, and it's the one I experienced, and it was one of the most unexpected heel turns that I've ever seen. And do you know what it was? John Cena turning heel. Yes, I experienced this, and I can really say I can really say a lot about this rivalry. There's some things that I don't like about the rivalry, and there are some things that I didn't. There's some things that I liked about this rivalry, like it was unexpected. It was unexpected, and John Cena has been a face for all of his career, and then for the Fair World Tour, they made him heel. Like, we all wanted it basically, and now it was just unexpected. I feel like it was like, oh my god. But I'm trying to find okay. Anyway, so what is the things that I don't like about this rivalry? They really didn't do much because with The Rock being there, I feel like The Rock was really into that storyline. I feel like if The Rock was in that storyline, I feel like it would have been a lot better. I'm sorry if I'm not talking to y'all, but I'm really trying to do something for SmackDown. But if The Rock was in, okay, let me just stop typing real quick. I'm sorry, I am not focused. But anyway, if The Rock was in that storyline, I feel like it would have been a lot better. Like if he came out at WrestleMania 41 instead of Travis Scott, it would have been a lot better. If they kept going, I feel like it would have been a lot better. But anyway, there's really less to say. Okay, that is the end of the video. Make sure you guys leave appropriate comments down below and tell me, do you guys want me to play Pokemon Legends ZA on the Switch? What else? Ring the bell for notifications, give this video a like, subscribe to Mo's Over Celebrities, and etc. And join the group. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.